Hi, this is Wilderness Surviving for Thriving. Today we're going to talk about tapping into maple trees in order to make maple syrup. All maple trees produce sugar or sap, but some are better than others. Obviously, the sugar maple, the Acer saccharum, which is the sugar maple, is better than the Acer rubrum, which is the red maple. This is a red maple. We're gonna tap into this just because I don't have any sugar maples on my property, so we're gonna use this. I've done this several times before, and it works okay. So we're gonna go ahead and do this tree. As far as the percentages on the sugar maple is 40 gallons of sugar, of sap, excuse me, to 1 gallon of maple syrup. So it's a lot. The red, it's going to be a lot less than that, but it's just a lot more work, I guess. I'm not going to get into so much about identifying these trees or about the survival aspects of these trees. We'll do that in another episode, but so look for that. But I'm just going to talk about strictly how to tap this and how to make maple syrup. Now I forgot my drill bit, so let me go get that. I'll be back. We're going to go ahead and drill a hole first. We're going to use a drill like this with a metal bit. Now, before metal, the Native Americans probably used like a hatchet or with like a stone on it or something like that. They really did scar up the tree a lot. They didn't really know anything about owning property. So what they would do is some of the trees would die. They would just move if the trees died and come back. The tribe would come back 80 years later, whatever, and everything would be growing again. The settlers came over. They had metal, obviously, so they do believe in property management or owning property. So they came up with a way of not hurting the tree. Now this doesn't hurt the tree in any way, as long as you don't tap it too many times in 1 year. But they use a metal bit like this, and maybe something like this. But we're going to go ahead and start drilling. I'm just going to go ahead. You want it not too far from the ground and not too high up because you have to be able to reach it. But I just like to do it at a slight angle like this, and then I'm just going to dig in, put pressure on it, and then you want to dig in like this, slight downward angle. Slight downward angle. That way gravity takes over and brings the sap down into the bucket. Now, you want to go in enough where your spile can get in there. So you have something like this, a little hole. You want to take a stick or whatever you have and just kind of clean it out a little bit. It's already running pretty good. Now, the best time to do this is when the nights are freezing, below 32 degrees, and the days are over 40. Last night was about freezing. Today is about 70 degrees. That's why I'm wearing shorts and everything. It's pretty warm out here today. So it's really, really flowing today, which is great. But you just want to clean it out a little bit. Now we're going to use a spile. This is called a spile. As you can see, it's made of metal. Before, if you didn't have a metal spile, what they did back in the day, or you can still use it, you can take a stick, carve it up, a little groove out of it, and you can put that in there and it'll come out. You can also use a sumac, not a poison sumac, just a normal sumac. And you can, the inside is very soft. So what you can do is you can just take a hot rod, a hot stick, a hot metal rod, put it in the fire, take it out of the fire and stick it right in the middle, and it will just burn right through like butter, and it will create like a little tube like that. And then that tube you can use as a spile. It's really easy to do. You should try it. It's really cool. But anyways, I'm just going to put the spile in here like this. And you're going to need a hammer. You want to tap it a few times. You can see it's already dripping. It's dripping like crazy. You want to tap it. You want to put it on this bucket here. Put it on the side. And you want to put on a lid here. Now, I was at the Sugar Bush the other day, and the people asked, they said, they asked the question, what's the lid for? A lot of people said bugs. Well, if bugs get in there, don't worry about it. Before you transfer it to the cook in the other bucket, what you could do is you just put a cloth over the top and strain out all the bugs, not a problem. This is to keep the rainwater out. So basically, there's enough water in this already in the sap, so you don't want to have any additional water in there. So you just want to put this on there to keep that out. And then once it's full, like I said, you dump into a bucket, you dump into your cooking pan. When you have a cooking pan, you want a large cooking pan, one with a big surface area. That way it evaporates out fast. If you have something that's kind of high, what will happen? It will take a long time to evaporate. That's all. So a big pan is good. You know when it's done for several things. Several ways you know it's done. One is taste. You can taste it. Another is just a spoon test. Just put a spoon in there and just see how it drips off. If it if it's getting solid, more solid, you'll see it. Another test you could do is just simply you could take it, throw it on some snow. If the snow melts, it's too much water. If it sticks on top, then basically you can just eat that snow. It's a good little treat, and you know it's done. So there's several techniques. It also gets darker in color also. So as far as the Native Americans, they would, most of the time, they would go down to a sugar because it preserves the best that way, down to sugar. So they would go down to a sugar. When the settlers came over, they had canning and that kind of stuff. So they would, can a lot of it for, it probably lasts like 2 years. I'm just guessing at that, but I'm guessing you probably can, it'll be good for 2 years. If it's in a refrigerator, it'll probably last even longer. So canning is good to do with this stuff also. But other than that, like I said, this is a great time to do it. It's below freezing, but anyways, this is Wonder Surviving and Thriving. See you next time.